Blog Talk Radio.
To the Psychic Coffee Shop. I'm Mason Knight, and with me tonight is Miss Sophia Light with chai tea this time. That's a little discerning. I got used to the hazelnut. Now you go bringing tea in here? Oh, I'll have to turn this into a tea house. Y'all got to keep this up.
Change is good. Change is good, right?
No, unless it's stronger coffee, which, by the way, I have found a new coffee that's really, really interesting. It's called Death Coffee. I'm hoping to order some within the next 2 weeks, and we'll test that out.
Okay, Death Coffee?
Yes, Death Coffee.
Oh, my goodness.
It's supposed to be 3 times stronger than normal coffee.
That's going to be interesting.
Well, if the coffee's stronger, I get more work done. The more work I get done, the easier my life is. Makes your life easier. Yeah,
but you are up like for hours and days at a time anyway.
Now,
Where's coffee going to go?
If the coffee's supposed to be up for 3 days straight, do you know that means that everything could be updated in like 2 of those days? I'd be wonderful. My days are only 18 hours now, away from 20. So, I've slowed down a little bit. With more co-hosts, it's easier.
Yes, it is.
Well, our news feed brought up a lot of stuff this week. So we're actually going to have 3 different hot topics. The first one, let's talk about this thing in Brussels. Sophia, lead off with that one, honey.
Well, I just heard what I've caught on the news, but there was a bombing at the metro station, and it killed several and injured many, many more. Apparently there was 3 bombers, and I guess they were suicide bombers, that came in. 2 of the bombs went off, 1 of them did not. And I'm thinking that they have that suspect in custody, or they are looking for and got good leads to where he is, which, the way that we use transportation these days, and the guns and things like that, they can put them on a no-fly list, but they can't control these things. What's the issue there? There's a lot of things that I'm not understanding there.
Well, see, here's the issue, and the issue is this. Brussels in itself has a very relaxed security system. They're not like Germany. So it was easy for them to migrate in there. Unfortunately, 49% of their youth that is Muslim is unemployed. Mm-hmm. So that makes it even harder because Brussels doesn't have a welfare system. They have a socialist system, which isn't the easiest to work in. Okay, So we have 49% unemployed, which means they're not getting anything. No welfare, none of that. They're basically being sent to, workhouse stuff, which is going to piss off the youth and make it easy for ISIS to recruit from there because they need money to feed their families.
Right.
So, they're now starting to look at the way that the system's run and, looking for the den because, this bombing was actually a prelude to the Paris bombing. And the people that bombed Paris lived in Brussels.
Yeah. They could be in your own backyard anymore.
Mhm.
They're recruiting from all over the place, and people that do have it bad or are mistreated, or other things can easily join up with these people, which is a very sad thing.
Well, it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that they're in this situations. Okay, that it's okay. I can sit here and starve, or I can make this amount of money for my family for the rest of their lives if I do A, B, or C. And then after they get into that, they start indoctrinating or immersing them into this idea and this culture, and it turns into even something worse.
Yeah, well, most of them, though, is going to die in the process, and who's to say if their families will get that money, which should never be anyway, but just saying.
Right. Just saying.
Because
that's the way it's
these
running.
3 were suicide bombers.
Right. But most likely their family will get money from this organization to provide them food, shelter, housing, whatever. Al-Qaeda and ISIS are very similar, but they're not the same, and it gets even more complicated because Al-Qaeda is where Al-Qaeda was off in their own little group, and they would send people to do things. ISIS isn't. It's more, spread out and secret celled and laid out everywhere. And, they're trying to question, well, why didn't we catch these people when they crossed the border? Well, they're just on a watch list. It isn't like you can say, oh, you can't enter this country. You can't get on this plane because they're just walking across the street, honey. You cross into another country.
Exactly. Well, but you cannot say, they might already be in this country.
They probably already are in this country. That's the hard thing about it. And a lot of people don't understand this. They start screaming privacy, which, I'm all for public privacy. I'm all for the government staying the hell out of my front door.
Right.
Okay? But you don't see me searching bombs on the website. You don't see me looking at the underweb. You don't, and the FBI knows what's going on. The Secret Service knows what's going on. But Brussels was like, that doesn't happen here. We never know this. We've never known this to happen before or during Paris. Really? Did you forget your history, Brussels? Go back to 1911 and, tell us that you didn't know about your own security.
Yeah, it's just, it's happening more often. It's happening everywhere, and there was a little lady on the train that kept everybody calm and got them off the train safely. And a lot of people just panic in that situation, but she did not, and I thought that was really good.
Right.
It's just that so many people are. It's getting to the point where people are scared to leave their homes, and that's so bad.
But that's what they're wanting to cause.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, they're wanting to cause fear. So the best thing to do is get the heck out of your house, go about your life, go to your funerals, celebrate their lives, celebrate everything about them, and move forward, our listeners in Europe. Do not settle.
Right, and in Paris, when they did that walk, and you had the leaders with the common people walking the streets saying we will not be afraid, I thought that was absolutely fabulous. And even leaders from other countries kind of came and joined them for this walk. And I thought it was absolutely fabulous. Yeah.
Right. Here's the facts. In 42 minutes, you can go from the lovely United Kingdom all the way to Paris and then over to Brussels with their train systems.
Yeah.
That's just how close it is to everything.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing, but it's something that we're dealing with, but apparently not quick enough.
Well, we're not going to be able to deal with it quick enough.
Yeah. The more we do, the more people that they have over here, So, and in Europe and every place else.
Right, because we're not addressing the symptoms. You're a Lady Nightingale, so this is the way I see it. Imagine the human body has cancer. Okay? The cancer is in its big toe. Instead of treating the cancer, it treats all the other symptoms but the cancer. That's what we're doing. We're upping security in Brussels. We're upping security in travel. We're upping security on travel. TSA is up your elbow if you fly now. But we've not gone to Syria and said, all right, enough's enough. If you all can't behave yourselves, we're going to take a dividing line, and you are going over here, you are going over here, and you are going over here. Now sit there and behave in your own countries.
Yeah. But people want to take over the world,
Well, they don't want to take over the world, but what they're having to do is you have people that are designed and built to create war. If they do not get their war or do not get their power, then they're able to influence others who are not powerful to follow them. And that's what's gone on here.
Yeah, they're going to try to get it one way or the other.
Right. All right. So, also some very interesting other things that hit our newsfeed before the Brussels incident, and that was the possibility now, according to this new paper, and science fiction has talked about this for years, since the mid-'60s, of parallel universes. Well, now Stephen Hawking, a well-known physicist, believes that it is possible, and it ties into his string theory. This is quite interesting.
Absolutely, and Stephen Hawking, he is well known for all his work in string theory. He is a brilliant, brilliant man.
Right.
Do I believe it? Yeah, I do.
Well,
I believe they exist. I believe that they're there.
Right. And, I find that, Stephen Hawking himself, his work is amazing. His work, he's changed the theory of relativity. He's straightened string theory. Now he says that black holes could be causing this to occur. Little nested universes of different series, even larger and even smaller. Now, with string theory and looking at this parallel universe, there may be another parallel me or another parallel you. Goodness. If there was even an exchange of that could be very dangerous.
Yeah, yes it could.
Very much so. There's even possibly, when you look at major decisions, that means that there was a possibility of another decision happening. So this theory can go everywhere and anywhere. It's set with some basic laws and principles, but not really too sure of it. And it's, a 1 followed by 5,000 zeros chance that one version is another version of another version. So, this is just new science out that, yet again, we've discussed multiple universes, multiple dimensions. It's already there. All right.
It's just a thing of proving it, and they're not able to prove it as of yet.
Exactly. It's all mathematics right now. It's not practical.
But anybody that does any type of meditation or shamanism or anything like that, they know that the other worlds exist.
Right. But it's figuring out just how they create. And, they're looking at black holes, which is Stephen Hawking's main work has been black holes and understanding black holes. And wondering if that doesn't take them into the next parallel universe, which, Star Trek covered that in mid-'90s. So, it's just catching up.
Right.
Okay. Something even more interesting, but much older, actually turned up in our news feed this week too, and it's ancient scrolls are starting to reveal their secrets. Because of the ink type that was used to inscribe the scrolls of the ancient library of Helikaman, this was the neighboring community to oh goodness, what is that city that was covered in volcanic ash? The one with the frozen people in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it escapes me.
Pompeii.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pompeii didn't have a library. Apparently they had a lot of adult facilities, but they didn't have a library. But Halakanin, a resort community for the wealthy, did. And they were able to recover to over 2,000 scrolls in this library in the 18th century. Now in the 22nd century, we have been able to begin reading about 600 of them. These works include everything from Greek philosophy. Now that'll be interesting to see if it was actually translated correctly. Greek lectures on different ways of life, different books, different charts. They've also confirmed copies of a comedy written in Latin. That should be entertaining. But now we're going to be able to translate them directly from the original script, and it will seem to possibly even change some of the things we look at, like from Plates and, even deeper. So it may even shake some theology ideas there.
Well, they said that they've been trying to read them for a long, long time, but some of them were damaged by them trying to read them because of, the way that they were placed and stored and written. But now they're doing that 3D X-ray, and they found lead in it, so now they can do something to manipulate it so they can read it, which is absolutely fabulous.
Very much so. It's fabulous. It's wonderful to get this. I can't wait to see it. It's kind of like, for me, it's like waiting for the Dead Sea Scrolls to be translated. So when it comes out, it will be my joyous day of sitting there and reading over, exactly what Plates and Aristotle were talking about, and even before then. So, we have a guest tonight, don't we, Sophia?
We do. We have Ronelle Wood. So, Ronelle is she's gifted in her chosen field, myofascial release, and the woman of the exceptional talent as a writer, teacher, mentor, and public speaker. She speaks to the heart of the desire of hundreds of her clients, students, readers, and listeners to heal and rid themselves of pain, as well as develop their own abilities and to facilitate healing. She is a source of simple but life-changing touch, wisdom, and words of inspiration that come from her own experience of healing physically, emotionally, and spiritual pain. She sees that miracles can be achieved every day and is dedicated to sharing them with the world and the truths that she has learned. Once a speech pathologist with a master's degree, Ronelle is now a respected author on fascia and healing. After realizing that her high IQ couldn't make pain go away, she found that her EQ, emotional intelligence, was even higher. She discovered through myofascial release and the true body alignment what she has never found in the talk therapy, prescription drugs, or surgery. Wood's methods are a hybrid called True Body, combining science of body mechanisms with myofascial release. You might say it is a mat-to-table experience. Since 2008, clients have been traveling all over the world to her sanctuary in Ojai, California, for this unique combination of treatment and instruction because it provides results they are looking for. Hi, Ronelle. How are you doing, honey?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Having a great time listening to you guys.
We are so excited to have you.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us at the table this time. I really enjoyed reading your book. It was very comfortable and interesting, and, I can't wait to finish my review on it so that I can get that up on YouTube for you. But what inspired you to write this book?
Well, that's a great question. I had a client come in who was a writer, and he had published 40-some books. And it was nothing for him to say to me after he learned about what I was doing, you really should write this down. And I shined him on, and I said, yeah, I've always wanted to. And he kept badgering me about it. So finally, one day he said, if you write that book, I will write the foreword for it. And that was it for me. It was so easy to write. I had it done in 76 days.
Wow. So
Wow,
this was
that's
almost like
awesome.
pouring out of you.
Yeah, it's because it's the stuff that I say 100 times a week to my clients and my students, and it just comes really easy for me. I think that's how we know when we have found our gift, when it seems to us like, oh, sure, this is easy, anybody could do it. And then we find out, no, we have a particular talent with this.
Mhm. So what is fascia?
Fascia, the boring definition, is that it is connective tissue. And for years, doctors have only perceived the fascia in your body as connective tissue, like packing material in your body that's just in their way when they want to operate on you. And they chop right through it without any consideration for what it is or realizing its full function. And many people who come to me are coming with scars from surgery or torn fascia from injury or a lifetime of physical or emotional trauma, and they have a lot of holding and restriction in the fascia of their body. But in the last 11 years, and mind you, it takes 10 to 15 years for scientific breakthroughs to actually make it through to the public, through the medical system. And I am here to try and bring this information through faster. 11 years ago, we found out that what we had used our intuition for to understand in the body could actually be seen when a doctor took fiber optic surgical tools and magnified the fascia 25 times. And what they found was astounding. And I think it also applies to intuition and psychic ability, if I could make that leap.
Okay.
Because when they looked at the fascia and it was magnified, they saw that the little strings of fascia are like spaghetti, and they lay down in the same direction as the muscle in your body. And when they're healthy, each fiber is individualized and very mobile and stretchy and fluid-filled. But you can see on the YouTube video that I made, it's a 1 and 20 seconds excerpts of what this doctor was videotaping, that our connective tissue are little hollow tubules that are translucent and fluid-filled, so we can imagine that they are like a fiber optic system in our body.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even have to explain what fiber optics are because we all watch cable.
Right.
And we get those images into our home through little tiny glass tubules that conduct light.
Mm-hmm.
And if our body is filled with a fiber optic system, light is shining through those tubules and carrying information. So the neuroscientists are studying the role of fascia in consciousness. It is possibly the mechanism, the physical thing inside us that contains consciousness when light is flowing through those tubules.
That's
How's
interesting.
that for it sounding?
It's very interesting because, connective tissue diseases in general, from my own, talking within the career realm for a very long time, they, connective tissue diseases run very highly in psychic clairvoyant, psychic mediums. So that's really interesting that, it may even be tied into that, and it may just be overuse.
Yeah, and when there are restrictions in the body, you can imagine that those little fibers get sticky and they clump together, forming these restrictions, and it gets darker and more shadowy, and it's not as easy for the light to flow through those tubules.
Right.
If I can give an example of how we are able to go numb in an area of our body that was injured, That's a wonderful survival technique, and the fascia squeezes around that injured area, and it allows us to not constantly be feeling it, so we can get on with our lives.
Right.
But in order to continue in a healthy way, you at some point have to interrupt that squeezing, because that body part can't go without blood supply for very long without starting to complain.
Right.
And so my job is to work with people's bodies and helping them to interrupt the pattern of holding in their body so they can let go in a safe environment, and blood flow and light flow can be restored to that area of their body, and their awareness, their conscious awareness comes back in to that area of their body, and they have very interesting side effects, much more than just, okay, I feel better. The side effects are like they'll come back and they'll say, I went home and I cleaned out a junk drawer. Do you think that's related to what we did? Or I had a deep conversation about a place where I was stuck in my relationship. And we notice that the body becomes intolerant of clutter when it starts to heal. And the only way out is through. You can't avoid feeling. I tell my patients, we weren't given this many nerve endings to learn how not to feel. It's like trying not to be human. And the only way to heal is to let yourself feel.
Right.
And you might wonder, well, why did we stop feeling, or how did we stop feeling in the first place? And that has to do with the second role that fascia plays in your body. It is protective. When you hear a loud noise, your entire fascial system squeezes in response. It's beyond your control. And it doesn't matter how much you meditate, how many yoga classes you take, you will always have that animal response in your body because it's automatic to help you survive. But oftentimes when you've gotten afraid and that fascia has squeezed you, you walk away from the event and your body doesn't really know that moment is over. And this frozen holding inside persists, saying, well, we weren't ready for that moment, but we'll be ready from now on. And you can really have a very vigilant, fearful clenching going in your body 24/7. And if you can get a perspective about our health in terms of diseases that are caused by squeezing, it can explain a lot of things that go wrong with us, like high blood pressure is a really good example. The internal fascial system is strangling you from the inside, and it's causing your heart to have to pump harder to get the volume of blood through your vessels. If we were to alleviate some of that clenching and tightening on the inside, we could make a change in blood pressure long before prescribing blood pressure medication or cutting you up to see what's going on with your heart.
Right. So what
I propose is if the Hippocratic Oath says first do no harm, we are far better off interrupting fascial restrictions before we ever go to pain medications that are very addictive or cutting a body, because injured fascia doesn't repair normally. It repairs like plaid or like a darn in a sock, and the little fibers are diagonal and crisscross, and they form scars, and often those scars will attach to your organs inside your body in order to stabilize. And the cesarean section that you had 20 years ago can be interfering with your digestion, your reproductive organs, your elimination capacity. And a doctor will tell you, oh, that was 20 years ago. That couldn't possibly be related. But it is.
Right.
I think everything is connected.
You just nailed it.
Everything is connected.
This analogy. Think of an orange without its peel. It still holds its shape, right? It has that white pith around it, and an orange is still round even without its peel on it. We are just like that. If we didn't have skin, we still have a superficial layer of fascia just under the skin that contains everything. But you can take a section out of the orange, and it has its own container, just like we do, all the way down to our organs and muscles. Those can be taken out of the body. They have their individual wrapping. But think about this. You can open a section of orange and see that each tiny little piece of pulp has its own container. And we're like that. Down to muscle spindle and organelle, actually all the way down to bone. And bone is just mineralized fascia. So it's everywhere in our body, and it is the only mechanism that contacts every other system in our body and communicates information from your toes to the top of your head. So when you say, I think everything's connected, you couldn't be more right.
Absolutely. Okay, Ronelle, we need to take a break.
Sure.
And we'll come right back with that thought, if you'll just hold that thought for me. So we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back with Ronelle Wood.
And you'll find us at www.themagichappens.com, your free online magazine.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
You're listening to the Magic Happens Radio Network, sponsored by the Magic Happens magazine. You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Do you have burning questions you need answered? We all do. Visit our website at psychic.biz, where you can find accurate psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers from around the world who are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can have your questions answered anonymously and right from your computer, tablet, or smartphone. The introductory chat is always free, and we offer low per-minute rates and special promotions. Our online psychics offer helpful, practical guidance into what matters most to you. Visit us today at psychic.biz.
And you'll find us at www.themagichappens.com, your free online magazine.
Welcome back. We are talking with our guest, Ronelle Wood, about myofascial release. Ronelle, are you still with us?
I sure am.
Okay. We was talking about, you was getting ready to say something about everything is connected. We talked about the orange, and you was getting ready to say something else before we went to break.
As it relates to a person's intuition and psychic ability, I believe the connection exists beyond our own skin, and that we pick up on other people's frequency. I know I'm talking to preaching to the choir right now, but the little sensitive fibers of fascia are able to vibrate in response to other people's frequencies, and that light can carry information not only from person to person, but you've heard about the Akashic record, that there is information carried in light, maybe even between parallel universes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's getting pretty far out there from where I know the science people are willing to listen, because they want things to be proven.
Right.
And it's very thrilling to me to be in an intuitive business where I am touching people and guessing what's going on beneath the skin, and people are experiencing healing and emotional release from what I do. To be able to have photographs and videotapes of the mechanism of fascia, to be able to show the science world, this is why what I do has its effect. And I really think the implications could be very far-reaching for us all to become much more empowered in understanding our body as something within our grasp, a lot less complicated than Western medicine would have us believe. That before now they have viewed the body as like a clock that you could take apart and put back together, remove pieces and leave it out, or replace it with something else without having any effect. But we know better than that, that the system is so sensitive. You hear stories of people who have had a kidney donated or a heart transplant from someone who has died, and then they develop interesting cravings or ways of being that they never had before, that when they talk to the family the organ came from, the family can tell them, oh my gosh, my grandpa also liked meatballs. He was crazy about them. And I think that we are beginning to be able to bridge the gap between those of us who are intuitive in our work and the science world, who can stop rolling their eyeballs at us now. Since we have this perspective.
It'll take them a while.
I know.
What's been your results? I'm going to throw you don't list diseases and results, but what have been your personal results? And have you seen any results when treating Cushing's disease?
No, I haven't worked directly with Cushing's disease.
Okay.
The kinds of things that people come to me for are when they've been injured and they're having trouble healing and they're feeling a lot of pain. If they are about to go into surgery or just coming out of surgery, they want to be preparing themselves or recovering to the best of their capacity. Or they've already been through surgery, physical therapy, they're addicted to pain medication, and they still have pain. So plantar fasciitis is something that I've worked with, rotator cuff tears, like I said, drug addiction, and emotional trauma people come for. And I never make promises or guarantees, but experience tells me that if I could take a picture of them when they come in, they're usually downcast, downtrodden, and looking exhausted and full of despair. And after 1, 2, maybe 3 sessions, they're light again. They glow again, and they have a feeling of a positive attitude again. And that's just their personal affect. But physically what happens with them is that the internal straitjacket that has been strangling them loosens up, and the pain that they were experiencing is alleviated. And we're not just talking about physical pain. The mind, the body, and the spirit are all swirled up together in one thing, and you can't separate them out and just deal with one thing or another. So it's hard to say why a person had a hip replacement. Is it because they were walking in a way that was downcast, where they felt everybody was picking on them and they weren't standing up straight, and they were creating joint problems by the way they walked? Or was it just that they broke their left ankle when they were 10, and here they are at 45, and their right hip is killing them because they were walking harder on the right foot without realizing it? But what happens is, as they lie on the table and I begin to address their restrictions in a very simple way by tractioning their heels or gently tractioning their arms, the grip of the fascia inside their body starts to soften and loosen. And the way that I talk to someone is to tell them that whatever happens isn't happening anymore, and that their body did the best that it could to help them survive, and it worked, and it's not needed anymore, and it's okay to let go. And I ask them to say inside their own mind, it's okay, it's safe to let go, I'm safe to let go. And if I can maintain that traction for 5 minutes or longer, the actual chemical makeup in the fascia under my hands begins to soften and melt and become less thick. It becomes lighter. And I can feel them extend. It's as though their limbs telescope outward, and all of that holding and tightening that's been squeezing them starts to get interrupted, and they elongate. And sometimes they will move a little bit, like roll their shoulders or twist their hips, because it feels to them inside like they are a butterfly trying to get out of a cocoon that's been too tight. And I encourage that when their body moves, it is better than 5 of anything I could do to them. And the fascia that has been gripping like saran wrap around the muscles and organs loosens, and the chemistry that has been trapped in there from fear responses gets swept away by the blood. It gets in between those layers, and it sweeps it into their bloodstream, which is good because that chemistry was gummy and sticky and old and stagnant. But when that gets swept into the bloodstream, they experience adrenaline, lactic acid, uric acid, the byproducts of fear, again, as though it's happening again. And they can feel grief or sadness or anxiety or even sometimes hysterical laughter. And it makes them think they're going crazy. And I reassure them that it's just their body leaking out this old stored chemistry, and that it's going to be carried into their kidneys, and they'll be able to pee it away. And they don't have to understand why they're upset. They don't have to pin it to, this is when that bully punched me in the nose, or, my dad left. They just need to be able to feel safe, to feel, to cry, to laugh, to move in any way they want. And something that they've held for 50 years can be set free in 10 minutes of a good cry or feet kicking or squirming on the table. And that's what I see while their body is letting go of symptoms of plantar fasciitis or high blood pressure or joint pain or chronic migraines or temporomandibular joint pain, TMJ pain. And I love that I can understand all of that stuff and I understand where the disease happens and what the processes are, but that I don't even have to understand that because it just works. I deal with the fiber optic system with my understanding and my own firsthand experiences of pain. I know what they're going through, and people can set themselves free learning that getting old doesn't mean necessarily getting decrepit.
Okay, Ronelle, this is so interesting. We're going to wrap it up here, so can you tell our listeners where to get your book at?
Absolutely. It's available on Amazon. The book has QR codes in it your smartphone can read. So it will take you directly to the video that I've described or other illustrations in the book. And I live in Ojai, California. Anyone interested in coming for a visit, we welcome you at our sanctuary with open arms.
Okay.
That is fabulous.
Thank you so much for joining us. And
My pleasure.
I know you have a website. Please give that out to our listeners so they can go and look at your services you offer and when you're doing workshops and so on.
Absolutely. It is omsanctuary.com. That's spelled O-H-M as in mom, sanctuary.com. And I also have a Facebook page, Ojai Healing Movement Sanctuary, and also Touching Light Facebook page, where if you ever have a question for me, want to check in with me, that is where the tribe meets.
Awesome.
That is
okay.
fabulous.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, and, we look forward to having you back again because I know that more research is going to come out on this, and I know that you're going to be, putting out some more information because we barely scratched the surface tonight, guys. So definitely go.
Yeah, we could talk for hours, huh?
Yep. All right, hon. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks,
Thank you so much,
Bye,
Ronelle. Have a
Sophie.
great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So we're going to start taking calls. The lines are open. The guest call-in number is 914-338-1976. Please be over the age of 18. When calling, give us your birth date, your name, and have a direct question because we can't do general. It would take 4 shows to get through a general reading. All right. So first one in line is 848.
Hello?
848, you're on air. Hi.
Hi, this is Sonia. Thanks for taking my call, Asen.
Not a problem, Sonia. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How about yourself?
Doing good, hon. How can we help you?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a rental property, and I've been debating for a while, but I just today I had to file for eviction to a tenant.
Right.
And
right.
I finally did it today, and the hearing is next Thursday. And to my surprise, immediately after I guess they were served, I started getting text messages from them, but I did not answer any of it. But I've been preparing myself for this before I even filed. I had to do it, there was no other way around it.
Choice, honey. Right. So take those text messages with you to court.
No, I'm taking a lot of things with me.
Yeah, but most of that, I definitely take those text messages too. I feel like it's not going to be any bit of a fight. I don't feel like they're able to do anything. They're just going to go move, and basically the case over with.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, because the main issue is that I didn't want to pay for the electric bill because it's in my name. The bill came high. And he's claiming all these things that, you're stealing electricity from the other unit, and this and that. and there's no way. He just wants to pay like a little $30 a month, and I'm like, so I have proof that when I lived there.
Was. Right.
Yeah, there's even a text message confirming that. But if he's using things and the bills are all of a sudden high, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I have proof. Right, I have proof that when I lived there, and I have proof of the bills that the bills were low.
Right. You know, and they're not paying it much at all. You know, so that's just not going to work, and they just need to leave. You know, they did not pay the utilities, and they were responsible for paying the utilities. They're part of it.
Right. Right.
So,
and
you know,
yeah.
You know, so, you know, there's no debate there. They're just going to tell them to move and to be out in so many days. And I don't feel like he's going to give them a full 30 either.
Right, because they texted me saying, we'll see in court with our lawyer and this and that, you know.
Yeah, roll your eyes. They're trying to scare you, please. Just roll your eyes and move on with it, honey.
Because a lawyer costs money, you know.
Well, you know, a lawyer does cost money, and if they're not willing to pay a power bill that, you know, for most people running as much as they do, isn't a high bill, they're not going to hire a lawyer. You know, that's not even a psychic question. That's a human question.
Right, right. So do you see then, so they're throwing all these things at me, like, you know, the kids got sick, and this is all after they got this. And, you know, there's medical bills, the kids got bronchitis, whatever. And this was never told. Right.
Right. This was never told. This is all scare tactics trying to freak you out, trying to get you upset. And, you know, they're just trying to make excuses.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. So you think the judge is going to ask them to leave and then grant me monetary judgment as well?
As well.
Okay. All right, because I'm going to go in there prepared. I have a lot of documentation and proof, like a lot of things.
And, you know, you just go in there and be honest. And I think you're going to be fine with it. I don't think that you're going to have much of a problem at all.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, well, that is great news, Jason, because I'm really, you know, concerned about all this, really. I just wanted it to be over.
I know, honey, and you're just so tired of it. You just want it done. But, you know, you're going to be unloading this property soon, too. So that'll be good for you. Really?
Because it's also for sale, and there was supposed to be 2 showings, but the people are going to come back, but one of them is sorting out financial issues. The other one was way too busy, and there's 2 different realtors. So you say you see that selling too, like in April maybe?
Well, at the end of April it'll sell, but you really don't close till the very beginning of May.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, it's taken over a month anyway, so okay.
Right. Okay.
That will be great, and I will keep you posted. Thank you so much for the reading. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, dear. You have a great evening.
Thanks.
Right. And our next caller is coming from 470. 470, you're on the air.
Hi, I was calling reference to career.
Okay. What's your name and birth date, dear?
Melissa, 3/14/73.
And how can we help you, Melissa?
I was reference to my career. It's reference to I want to go back to school, but it's expensive, and
it is.
It is a short course, but I don't feel in my spirit that I should pay that money for that short time. But do the spirit says I can do without it, because right now I'm taking a rejuvenation break, and then I want to go back to work.
Right, and I feel like you should go right back to work. Okay, I feel like you do take this course, but the course will be paid for later on. It just isn't the right time right now for it.
Okay, hon.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes,
you know, look at this again in about 10 months.
Okay, yes. Okay, dear.
Okay.
Thank you, dear. Yes.
You have a lovely evening, darling.
You too, my dear. A blessed evening. Bye.
All right. So, lines are open. We have a few more minutes. Now, Sophia, me and you are going to be down in Charleston, West Virginia on May 14th at Beltane in the Forest. You want to share a little bit about what we're going to be cooking up down there? Sophia, you still with me? Oh, she's getting coffee.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I had to get my latte.
You needed coffee. That tea never takes you all the way through a show.
No, it don't. Beltane is a meeting of celebration. We have a lot of things for the adults as well as the kids. We've got craft tables for the kids and games, and we have live entertainment. We also have several readers, including Asen and myself. It's just a good time to come down and join us at Coonskin Park.
Right.
May 14th. I think the gates are open at 11.
They're opening at 11 this year. Historically, they've opened at noon, but we're opening it an hour early. Now, for those out-of-towners, Coonskin Park is real close for you. You literally are landing above the park, and you can just literally hop in a rental car, drive down one block, turn up, and go right to where we're at. And, you can access it and be with us today and then fly back out that evening if you would like. But, we're going to have great things for the kids. And, part of the Psychic Coffee Shop family is David Woods. And David Woods will be there performing, and he'll be emceeing the show, and he will have his crown and conjure there.
Oh, I love his oils.
I know. And he's going to have his bath salts, too. And Lord knows I could use some of those.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And Sophia's going to be there giving in-person readings, and I'll be there giving readings most of the day. And, we'll be switching off and kind of taking breaks, just like you should. And, we're going to have a really fun time. So come out and join us. If you're in the area, we have people coming all the way from Pennsylvania all the way down to South Carolina, all coming in for Beltane. And, it'll be a fun, enjoyable time. And we're going to have a lot of local artisans and craftsmen there. So check it out. Join us up. It'll be a really good thing for you to come out. And it's free. No cost at the gate. The readings do cost. The services, the products you buy, they cost. But everything from entertainment to the children's crafts to, coming and joining us at the event is totally free of cost for you. You can come out and enjoy the day. Now, we do have some other free things. It is free of drama. It is free of alcohol. It is free of drugs. It is free of attitude. This is the day for the community to come together
and celebrate and have a good time.
Yes, and welcome summer back into the season and the warmth to come back. So, come out, have fun with us. But in between now and then, if you need to reach us, you can always reach us over at psychic.biz, who is having a very good promotion. Their promotion this time is Spring 16, and they're giving you $5 free if you use that coupon on no matter the amount of deposit. Now, if you've already used that one, you can also use Coffee, COFFEE, and that'll give you $10 on your $15 deposit. And you can use that for me, who's on sale for 99 cents until July. Or you can use it on Miss Sophia or any of their other tested, authentic readers there. And that's chat, video, or even phone. So, you can get us almost in any direction you want to. I even provide email readings there. Just email me, and we can do different details on that. And next week, I believe Amanda Dow will be guest co-hosting for us, and we're going to have fun with Lady Catherine, I believe. If not, we're going to do round robin, because I know both those ideas are on my calendar, so I don't know which one we'll do until then. And if you've not played round robin before, it'll be a lot of fun. So tune in next week at Wednesday at 11 p.m. And thank you for joining us tonight at the Psychic Coffee Shop.
Good night, Asen. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Sophia.
Are you at a crossroads in your life? Or are you feeling stuck and not sure where to turn? We can help. Visit our website at psychic.biz from your computer, smartphone, or tablet, where you can get accurate readings and insight by speaking with any one of our tested advisors. We offer live chat, video sessions, one-on-one phone calls, and even email readings. We have several gifted psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, and other healers from around the world who are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your initial chat is always free, and our psychics do offer special prices and low per-minute rates. Visit us today at psychic.biz and get the guidance you need today for your tomorrow.
You're listening to the Magic Happens Radio Network, sponsored by the Magic Happens magazine. You'll find us at www.themagichappens.com.